Hey guys, welcome back to Spilling the Reality with Trisha and Kylie, minus Trisha, on the Russell Hantz Show, where we are going to bring you everything you need to know from last night's eviction episode. We'll talk about that BB neighbor that moved in, who's the next HOH, who are the potential nominees, everything that you need to know. So if you're joining with us live, make sure that you drop some comments as we go through. We'll hit on them. What are your thoughts about the potential eviction this week, the triple eviction next week, and everything that is going on in the house? So let's get started. Lunchtime. Hi, Jim. Okay, so let's talk about last night's episode. What are your thoughts?
Well, it was predictable. We knew Day was going to be exiting the Big Brother house. I'm super disappointed. I wanted to see her stick around. However, we did see that Danny and Nicole voted to keep Day in the house.
Yeah, so those votes were kind of curious because I feel like it's probably too little too late. Um, what did you think about Day's eviction speech when she made the comment of stabbing someone in the front as opposed to stabbing someone in the back?
I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was great. Only because it's so true for this season. It's so true. And
Yeah,
everything that Day said when she was talking to Julie or when she was about to be evicted was perfect. I loved it.
yeah, yeah. Davonne is so classy and just, went out with Grace last night. It's no secret that we've been rooting for Davonne. I've always been a Davonne fan from her very first season. She's so entertaining, and seeing her growth through the 3 seasons of Big Brother and the 2 seasons of The Challenge, I was rooting for her, and I do feel like she played her best game. Just, it was kind of stacked up against her before she ever even got an opportunity to get going.
Yeah, I was cracking up when she was talking to Julie and was like, I was so sick of those people.
Yeah, same, Davon. Like, we would like to leave this season too. Apparently, Big Brother wants to. Also, that's why they're going to do this triple eviction. Like, just everybody get out of the house.
They want the season to be over.
Yeah,
Done.
exactly. Yeah, for sure. They want it to be over. But do you think once Davon has time to digest everything, hearing from Nicole, like, hey, I was in this big alliance from day 2, and that's why I had to lie about this vote with Ian. Do you think Davon is going to be able to be a good jury member, or do you think she's going to be bitter towards Nicole if she gets to the end?
I think it's tricky with Davon, only because I think it depends on the day, depends on who she's talking to and what feedback she gets from others. But I think she has so much respect for the game that whoever's sitting at the end, I think she'll vote for the best person to win.
Yeah. Trish and I had talked about it a lot. Like, is there any chance that Davon is super pissed at Nicole because we knew that Davon was wanting Nicole to tell her the truth, not necessarily from a game perspective, but from a personal perspective. And is this going to be too much? Like, they had been mending this relationship all season long. And is this going to be too much for Davon? Like, is this going to push her over the edge with Nicole? And
And it could be. The
yeah,
thing is, it would be who is Nicole sitting next to at the end. That will be a huge factor in that as well. Because if it's
yeah,
someone that Davon likes better than Nicole, I think she votes for that other person no matter what. Now, if it's two
right.
people, say if it's Memphis and Nicole, well, come on now.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I feel like for them to have a two-time winner, that person would have had to have played like impeccably, and we're not seeing that from Nicole. Excuse me. Besides the fact that she's aligned with a good group, she's not really done anything. So, I think once Davon gets into that jury house and she tells Ian like, this girl lied. She lied about it from day one and, continued to lie. I think that, it's going to be a real uphill battle for her. So,
I agree completely. Here, the biggest issue with it is The alliance was made. Nothing has changed with it. It's been a super boring season, so predictable. And that's the problem. No one wants to make a move. So what, you think you're going to go with all 6 people? There's people on the bottom, and you have to see that. So why are you not using the bottom feeders to create a 4-person alliance or a 5-person alliance? That's better than 6. So I don't know why people aren't mathematically thinking about this.
Right. Do anything different. And our girl Jessica from BB21 last night, she tweeted out like, okay, what are these people going to say in their final jury speech? Because if you're sitting there with another committee member, you've all made the exact same moves. Like, hey, I was in this big alliance. We won a bunch of competitions. We took out the other people that weren't in our alliance. We made sub-alliances within our alliance. Like, you're all playing the exact same game. Who's going to differentiate themselves? And we just, I really, really feel like Danny missed the biggest opportunity.
I do as well.
Not taking out Tyler.
I do as well, because that would have been a pivotal move in her game, because she would have known, yes, I have Davonne with me. And then she could have utilized Ian. I don't understand why she did that. She made the safe move, and I don't think she's going to get to the end because she didn't do something that could help her in the game.
Right. And
she helped other people's games because that's what they wanted. She didn't do what she wanted. She did what other people wanted her to do.
Right. They are all playing Cody's game. Somebody over here said that too. I don't know where it is. They are brainwashed by Cody. He's going to win. I agree, Cajun Reseller. As of right now, 1,000%. Cody is set up for the win. So, not very.
Yeah, because people aren't even mentioning about wanting to take out Cody. They all think that they're with Cody.
Yeah, I mean, Cody's in such a good position. So, nuts. It's nuts. But this triple eviction is going to force them to do something. There's no choice. So we're going to go from like 0 to 11 in one episode, and I'm so ready for it. Before we talk about our theories on the triple eviction, let's talk about the BB neighbor. Yes. So, were you surprised to see Dr. Will?
I wasn't surprised to see Dr. Will. However, I'm very happy that Dr. Will showed up because he is fantastic and he is someone that never holds back. And that is something that these contestants needed to see because he was very blunt before the HOH competition. Hey, there's going to be prizes. I know what I would do. Go for the prizes.
Right, exactly. So I did see one tweet that had a picture of David's face whenever Julie was showing Dr. Will, and it said, David's thinking, who's that guy in the row? Because y'all know good and well that David does not know who Dr. Will is. So I wasn't surprised to see Dr. Will as the BB neighbor. That is one person that we had thrown out there as a possibility. So I'm glad to see him. He is obviously an OG true all-star. So yeah, I think it's exciting to see him.
I know. I want to know with David. I'm sure he has so many questions, like what season was he on? Did he even play Big Brother? David probably doesn't even know.
Like, who is this guy? And I mean, he literally made Big Brother. So, oh gosh, Jim, take it back. Oh, triple sounds good until Tyler wins HOH, then Cody again, and then Memphis. And that's probably exactly what's going to happen. Okay. So, yeah, BB neighbor. We know that Dr. Will would go for the prizes. We've got some speculation as to what the HOH comp might have been based on the previous Big Brother All-Star season where they did an HOH comp to possibly win prizes. So we'll also cover that in a minute. But let's get into the big topic of the triple eviction. So I'm not going to say that I was right, y'all, but I may have thrown this out there 2 episodes ago that maybe they would do a triple eviction like Big Brother Canada. So what are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm so here for it because you know how I am. I like the shakeups and I like to see people squirm and have to actually do something strategic in this game. So no one's going to be able to hide with the triple eviction, which is wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be so great. We got this comment from Heather. She says, hoping they don't do the triple like they do the triple on Big Brother Canada. So let's talk about that. We know that Big Brother Canada has done this, I think, 3 times. And the way that they format their triple eviction is they have the HOH. So we'd have our normal eviction, and then, like, okay, it's not double eviction night, it's triple eviction night. And whoever is HOH will nominate 3 people, not 2, but 3. And they still play the veto and everything, but the HOH cannot play in the veto competition. It's the 3 nominees and then 3 random people. And then whoever is left up there, you vote to keep 1, and then the other 2 are evicted. So, do you think that's how the US one is going to go?
I hope not, because I would not want to see that. I hope it's
Right.
boom, boom, boom all the way
Yes.
through.
Yeah,
I don't want it to be that way.
right.
But
We were talking about it before we came on, and we're thinking with the 2-hour time slot, like they've got to have enough to cover 2 hours. So I'm hoping that they're like, okay, here's our regular eviction, and it's double eviction night. And they're all plotting, and then they go through the normal Big Brother double eviction, and then they're like, expect the unexpected, it's triple eviction night. And just to see them spinning, like, Cody is going to be freaking out. It's going to be amazing.
especially because with the double eviction, like the second eviction, that would be crazy, because I guarantee something crazy happened.
Right.
And then when you get hit with the triple eviction, you don't have time to process what just happened. So you have to mentally check yourself back in and get focused for the next competition. So people are just going to be frazzled, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. It's going to be so awesome. I cannot wait. It's going to be the best thing that has happened in this entire season. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that. Ed says, Cody already knows the order everyone is going out anyway. So, yeah, this is going to be kind of fun because, so, this first eviction that's going to happen, which maybe we should have saved talking about the triple eviction till the end. We're going to come back to the triple eviction. Let's talk about what happens when the feeds come back on. We have a new HOH. Shocker! Who from the committee won the HOH?
Cody pulled it out. Am I stunned? No.
Right. So, here you go, guys. Week 10, or whatever this is. Same old shit, just another week.
The only person that has won that's technically outside the alliance is Enzo. No one else has won HOH. So frustrating.
So frustrating. So Cody wins the HOH. What we were referring to with the possibility of the comp is in the original All Stars, they did this comp like where they had to lay in. Was it in like?
It was like kind of like a grave type thing.
Yeah. And they had a little clicker, and they placed bets like, okay, I'm willing to bet 15 points on whatever they offer, whether it's towards being the HOH or if they're offering prizes, and whoever has the highest number gets the prize. And if you want to go for HOH, you have to have a low number. And we're thinking that it might have been something like this because, as Dr. Will referenced, there were prizes up for grabs. And when the feeds come back on, we know that 2 prizes that were eligible were $5,000 each. And it went to 2 house guests. So who do you think might have gone for the money?
Well, we know one person got it, and that was Tyler.
Yeah.
And then that's tough because you got some greedy people in that house.
I mean, Nicole Franzel better have taken that $5,000 because she's going to have to make up that money for her wine sponsor dropping the wedding. So hopefully it was her, but I don't know.
I don't know. You got some greedy people in there, so we'll see. I mean, maybe David was like, don't know if I can win HOH. I'll just go for the money.
Right, exactly. And so we know Tyler wins. He does tell Cody and Christmas, and he's like, hey, like, don't tell people because I don't want it to get around the house. I would tell everybody. Everybody.
Why is he telling people? I would never tell anyone that I
Right.
took the money. That's so stupid.
So stupid. So, yeah, I would definitely, I personally wouldn't have told anybody. But then if someone told me, I would tell everyone. Like, Tyler took the money. Just so y'all know. Target on Tyler.
Because
So,
Christmas is the only other person that we know of that got $5,000 earlier in the season, right?
right. Christmas got the money, and then Davonne because
Yeah.
Nicole gave her the money. So Davonne's out. Christmas and Tyler have already won money. I mean, whatever you can get, that is exactly what I would make them a target for. Like,
You have to use that as leverage. I don't care how much money it was. You still have $5,000 more than I have. So make sure you target in my book.
Right. There is some talks over here. We do know that Danny used her power and let Memphis play in the HOH comp, but where we had talked about her doing it strategically of like, hey, don't tell anybody that you have this power and, let it come back on Memphis as being a little bit shady. She decides to tell Memphis. I mean, it makes no sense, the moves that these people make. Nobody is playing strategically.
And I'm stunned with Danny doing that, only because I think she's smarter than that. So why would you do that? It's mind-boggling.
So stupid. I mean, why not do something strategic with it? If you aren't going to use it strategically, then just don't use it. But what is the purpose of telling Memphis, hey, I've got the third power and you can play in the HOH again? I mean, I understand why Danny didn't maybe want to use it on herself because she did have to nominate 5 people. Okay, so Danny doesn't want to use it for herself, but why would she not have just used it on Memphis and been like, oh gosh, Memphis had that power. He's won 2 HOHs. He's won a veto. Like, he's a threat, y'all. Anything to make somebody a bigger target. But no, that's not what we want to do with.
No, not at all. And honestly, I don't understand why she wouldn't have used that strategically. It was a perfect moment because obviously people are going to think that he used it for himself because they're never going to think it was her because she would have used it the week before, potentially what people would think in their mind. So that would have canceled her out for even being a suspect.
Right, exactly. She could have done so much with this, but nope, that's just not in the cards for us, folks. So, yeah, and like Heather said, she could have at least used it to leverage a deal with Memphis, something, anything. But just, hey, you want to play in the HH again? I'll let you. So I hope that Memphis took $5,000 since Danny was dumb enough to just let him play in it again. So
that would be funny.
Yeah, just whatever. You can have some money. You can have some money, whatever. I don't care. So, anyways, once we get the feeds back up and we get a little bit of game talk going on, and we're really seeing this feud between Christmas and Danny come to a head. And Christmas is talking to Memphis and is like, Memphis tells her, hey, Danny had the third power and she used it on me for me to be able to play in the HOH again. And yeah, Christmas is like, well, I don't trust Danny. She has said my name 4 times this week for people to be going after me. 4 times. I'm like, girl, she has said your name way more than 4 times, but you just don't realize it.
Yeah, I know Danny really wants Cody to backdoor Christmas.
Yeah, and so we do get them talking in the HOH room, Danny and Cody, and of course, Cody's talking about the potential nominees and is like, hey, I think that I'm going to probably put up Kevin and David. Wow. So shocking. I never would have seen this coming. And Danny's like, okay, so what happens if one of them comes off? Like, who do you want to put up? And why is it Christmas?
I would be fine if it's Christmas. I would be completely good with that. I know Russell wouldn't, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah, Russell would not be happy. We were talking last night, and Russell is like, "Oh my gosh, like Christmas is starting to play the game because of this conversation that she has with David." I was like, "Russell, she is playing David like a 5-year-old can play David." So, yes, that was Christmas's one actual strategic conversation that she has had in the game all season. Oh no, here he is, y'all. Speaking of the devil. I love Christmas.
We know you do. We know you do.
Such a mess. But anyway, so yeah, Danny is pushing hard for Cody to go after Christmas. And Nicole is like, nope, it's too early. Like, we don't need to make that move. How's it too early? There's 9 people left, y'all. Like 9 people, 6 are in your alliance. 1 is an honorary member. Go for it.
Enzo. Why are we not making a move? What is she? So she's gonna wait till 6 and then let someone else get her? That sounds wonderful.
Right. And the way that the girls have been getting picked off, like there is no way that I would be like, oh sure, I'm just gonna sit around and wait till the final 6 so that these guys can pick me off.
Did they not watch these guys' seasons? Enzo, Memphis, Cody, they bro down. Like, come on now. Do something.
This is what they're gonna do. So, yeah. So Nicole's like, nope, it's too soon, and Danny is pushing for it. And Cody's like, well, if Kevin or David comes off the block, I'll consider it. And I do think of the remaining people, Cody is the least close to Christmas. And so just if somehow Kevin or David can pull this out and one of them can go up, can take themselves off, I do think Christmas will go up. And if they voted her out, it would be so amazing.
Here's the thing. We are relying on Kevin and David. Just process that for a moment, because my faith level in that is so slim.
Right. I mean, Kevin and David, obviously Cody will be competing for veto as the HOH, and then Tyler has not missed an HOH competition. One. He's missed one. There's one time that his name has not been drawn. So now there's even less people, so the odds are highly in the favor of Tyler being able to play in the veto. So the competition stacking up against Kevin and David is very, very, very strong.
I want it so bad, but we have seen what's happened this entire season that my expectations are super low.
Yeah, like I've already written off this week, like, okay, whatever, Kevin or David, one of them's screwed and going home, but just hold out hope for the triple eviction. Like something good has to happen from this, right?
Well, we say that every time, but
yeah, every week.
We'll see.
Yeah. So slight talk about a possible backdoor plan, but I think unless the worst case scenario for the committee happens and Kevin or David saves themselves, it's going to be exactly how every week has been up to this point, and one of them will be becoming the third jury member.
Now, this won't happen, but I would absolutely love it if Danny won the veto and pulled one of those guys off and made Cody have to make a decision.
Yeah, that would be great. Like, hey, I'm going to take a stance.
Because that would be a move.
Yeah. Yep. So, anyways, let's move on to have-nots. We got a little bit, like this is the majority of the drama comes from these. And we know that there's only 2 have-nots this week. Christmas and Cody are the outgoing have-nots, and they have to talk about who they're going to choose. And we get this great conversation with Christmas, Miss Self-Aware, that, hey, like, I kind of want to choose Kevin, but I'm just a little bit worried about what America will think because he keeps getting put up on the block. And Cody's like, it's no big deal. Because I'm the one that's going to look like the bad person. You're going to make him a have-not, and then I'm going to put him up on the block. So no big deal. Just make him a have-not.
Yeah, and then she goes, well, I guess I'll take one for the team because if Kevin gets evicted, then there'll only be one have-not left.
Yeah, I don't think Christmas understands the term taking one for the team. Like, how is it when you nominate somebody to be a have-not, that's you taking one for the team? Like, if Tyler volunteered to be a have-not, that would be taking one for the team, not you picking somebody who has been down and out the entire season.
Christmas is about Christmas. We all know that.
Yeah, she's a psycho. So let's just call it what it is. So anyways, Christmas does choose Kevin to be a have-not, and Cody chooses Enzo. Enzo volunteered. He's like, hey, I don't mind being a have-not because it just puts me that much closer to Cody's HOH room. And so Enzo's like trying to lever it to his advantage of, hey, I'll be able to just hop in there and people won't know that I'm spending all my time in the HOH room. So I kind of like his thinking here.
I think it's a decent move for Enzo's gameplay because he's volunteering and he's not making that helps Cody because then Cody doesn't have to make a decision.
Right. Yep. So it's just typical. I mean, the only thing that was a little bit surprising is that Cody did not give the have-not back to David, which is what he had potentially talked about doing. Christmas was going to give it back to Davonne, but Davonne was evicted, so she had to go with somebody else. Shocker, she doesn't think of choosing anyone else. She's not the one that's like, hey, I'll choose Enzo, you pick somebody. Like, you're already HOH, you're already going to make people mad, just pick somebody. These people, I don't understand them.
Not one bit.
Not one bit. So, let's get back to triple eviction talk. Now that we've got all the spoilers out there of Cody being the HOH, what is probably going to happen with the nominations? So let's talk hypotheticals. So, let's say Thursday night, we do end up with Kevin and David on the block, and one of them being evicted in the first eviction of the night. Out the door. So
I'm assuming it would be Kevin.
I would think it would be Kevin, but we do get in Cody talking about how he doesn't want to have all of the little talks with everybody today. He just wants to put his nominees up. But he does say, I'm going to give Kevin a heads up. So that made me kind of think maybe he might go after David just by that comment. But he doesn't really say who his target is because ultimately it really doesn't matter.
Well, because here's why I'm thinking why Kevin could go, because say Kevin ever won HOH, Kevin's making his own decision. David wins HOH, he's going to be manipulated by whoever gets to him first. Because he's not going to be the one making the decision. Kevin, he'll make a decision.
And David wants to be a part of Cody and Tyler. So it would not make sense for Cody to go after David, but we'll see what, who ends up being the target. But let's just say probably Kevin. Kevin goes out the door. We're left with 8 people. The 6 committee members, Enzo, and David. Cody can't play in the HOH. So that means it will be 5 versus 2 in terms of committee members. So who do you think is going to take a shot first?
Well, it would be smart if Danny will take a shot if she gets it again. I think if she gets it again, she's going to take the shot.
Yeah, I think if Danny wins the HOH in the double, she's like, okay, I'm taking my shot. I'm going to put up Tyler and Christmas. That's who I think her nominees will be. She's talked about how Memphis is not a threat because he's a grandpa and all of that. So I don't see her taking the shot at Memphis. We know she's not going for Cody or Nicole. So definitely I think that target is going to be on Tyler and Christmas, and she's probably not going to care much which one goes. So
but you know what I could see happening? I could see whoever wins HOH in the double eviction, if they take a shot, I could see them being the person going out in the triple.
Yes,
100%.
like that's what is so potentially exciting about this is, if Danny's like, okay, this is it, like nobody has time to really think about it. I'm gonna take this shot. And then Julie is like, okay, triple eviction, let's get ready to do it again. I mean, just the look on Danny's face is going to be priceless. I just cannot wait for this. And if they ruin the surprise and tell them that it's a triple eviction ahead of time, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Yeah, they should not do that. If they do that, it ruins everything. Because as we talked about, if you're just thinking it's a double, it's a different mindset. If you know it's a triple, you're gonna
Right.
make
Play it
different
safe.
moves. Yeah,
Right.
you're
They're
gonna
going to
say,
play it safe on the double. They're going to nominate David and whoever and send David out the door unless he wins the veto.
yep.
But if they don't know that it's a triple, they're going to take that shot. And the double eviction is going to be exciting, but the triple eviction is going to be even more exciting. So, please, CBS, if y'all are listening, please just give us this one thing. Like, we have suffered through this entire season. We have not canceled our live feed subscriptions, even whenever you're down for 21 hours. Give us this one good thing. Don't tell them ahead of time that this is a triple eviction. So
I hope it doesn't happen, but it is CBS, so we will see.
yeah, let's talk about some other committee members. If Christmas wins the HOH in the second eviction spot, who do you think she will go after? Will she take the shot at Danny?
I think she'll take the shot at Danny. I think it's
Yeah.
whoever gets to take the shot first is going to do it.
Yeah.
I think both of them are ready to pull the trigger, but it's whoever's going to get there first.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the safest person, if they were to win the double, the second HOH, I think would be Memphis. If Memphis wins the second HOH, y'all, he's going after David. I mean, he's not going to settle until David is out of the house. So let's just hope that it's not Memphis because that will be boring. Please, just let it be entertaining. Just 1 week. 1 week.
Just 1 week.
Yeah.
Tyler would be interesting.
Yeah, I think Tyler would be interesting. I could really see him doing like Danny and Nicole.
But Nicole, if Nicole gets it, I don't know if she'll take that shot because she's like, it's too soon. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see Nicole throwing it, not wanting to win it. She's in a pretty good spot. Nobody is targeting her. Maybe Tyler a little bit, but now that Davonne connection is gone, I don't think that Nicole's that big of a target somehow as the only winner. But I don't think she'll go for it. What do you think?
I don't think so either. I mean, she hasn't taken any risk in this game so far, so why start now?
Right, exactly. So, who do you think are the 3 most likely people to go out in the triple eviction?
I definitely
place your bets right now. Who are the 3 we're losing next week?
Okay. Well, depending on who gets evicted between Devin and Kevin, whoever's left, David and Kevin, whoever's left,
yeah,
that person's going to be gone. And then I am going to bet that Danny takes a shot at Christmas, Christmas goes, and then Danny goes on the triple.
Okay, so boo, boo, boo. 1 girl left standing at the end of triple eviction night is your prediction. And the 1 girl being the only winner left in the game. So, okay, let me think. Kevin's going to go first. I really, really think that Christmas goes second. I agree with that. But I somehow think that Cody's going to end up winning that 3rd one. And I think we're going to lose David. I think we're going to lose to the 2 remaining non-committee members.
All right. We'll see.
What would Enzo do?
Oh, see, that's the other thing with Enzo. Enzo's a wild card.
Yeah.
I think Enzo's going to do whatever he thinks is going to keep him the safest and get the least amount of blood on his hands.
Yeah, I think he would nominate David and girls.
Yeah, he's sticking with the guys. It's no secret. That's the way he played last time, and he's not changing that.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the three safest people going into triple eviction night are Cody, Tyler, and Enzo. I do not see a scenario where those three leave.
And I would throw Memphis in there too.
Yeah, I think Memphis is right there too.
I would throw
I
him.
think the girls are in trouble and Kevin and David are in trouble.
I agree.
All right, okay. Y'all keep dropping some comments. We're gonna do our tweet of the day real quick, and then we'll go back through and hit on some of your comments. Give us your thoughts. Who do you think is going to be leaving the house on Thursday? Today's tweet of the day is going to come from whoever is, oh gosh, where is this picture at? Whoever is running David Alexander's Twitter account. We've talked about it multiple times that they are bringing it. And they were trying to get up to like 30,000 Twitter followers yesterday, and they're like, if we do, then we will share our zings for the house. And so he hit his number for followers, and y'all can go follow the whole thread where he zings everybody. But this one was our favorite. At Dave J. Alex, Christmas. We appreciate that you love your holiday so much. You parodied the song Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer and changed the lyrics from reindeer to Mercedes SUV. So, zing! We love that one. Great job, Ovi, because we're pretty certain you're the one running his account. So, that is the tweet of
That's
the day.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's so funny. But there's several good ones. Like his one for Memphis is really good because we know there's not a whole lot of love lost there. So y'all go check it out. There's some great ones. All right, let's scroll through the comments. There's a ton. We're just going to hit on these more down at the bottom because I'm not going to be able to keep up with them all. Let's see. Jim says that the only way Nicole leaves is if she's up against Danny and Danny removes herself. Yeah, I mean, I think Nicole's pretty safe too.
Yeah, if it's
no
between
one,
Danny and Nicole sitting next to each other, Danny goes, no doubt.
yeah, just I don't see a whole lot of people unless Nicole is sitting up against Tyler or Cody. I don't see her going.
I think she's in a good spot because she's going to be everyone's second option.
Right. Let's see. What if Danny wins HOH? Who do you think she would put up?
I think she puts up Christmas and Tyler.
Yeah, agreed. 1,000. 1,000%. That's who she'll go for. And definitely with the target being Christmas. Let's see. What two HOH wins during the triple would lead to the most entertaining episode? Okay, KMK, I like this question. So, what do you think? What two HOHs could make it the most exciting?
Well, I say Danny winning for sure.
Yeah.
And then after that, honestly, I would even say if Danny wins that one and then maybe whoever between David and Kevin didn't go, that person winning.
Yeah, I think that could make it real interesting. I definitely want Danny to win one of the two HOHs because I think she's the one most likely to take the shot. Maybe I want Tyler to win the other one because I think he would turn around and also take a shot, probably at Danny. And so that would be
if Christmas goes, if Danny wins the second one and Christmas goes, then if Tyler wins, I think he'll pay back. Yeah.
Let's see what else. Okay. This is long. Let's see what Jim says. Here is my thought of how I envision a good night. Kevin or David go first. Then Enzo wins. He makes a sausage party, move noms. Danny and Nicole. Danny removes herself. He replaces with Christmas. That is not a terrible idea. So if Christmas and Nicole are sitting there, who do you think leaves the house?
Wow.
Because I definitely think like Memphis and Tyler are closer with Christmas. Cody and Nicole are closer with Danny. So who would go?
It comes down to Enzo having to make a tough decision there. And then whoever's left between Kevin and David.
Yeah. I
That
think
could
that
be,
one would really be a toss up.
that would
Like,
be a very close vote.
like if it is David that's left, maybe this conversation where Christmas clued him in, that might be the tipping point in in the favor. And the fact that Nicole lied all week about her vote and that was getting pinned on to David, like I think Nicole goes against Christmas. So Christmas might be the only one that Nicole leads against.
Oh, that could be so good. I like that. That was a
I
good
mean,
one.
like I would like for if Nicole and Christmas are up there together, I would really like for this to go BB Canada style and let's send both of them out. Like whew, just exit both of you. That sounds great.
I'm
Okay,
here for it.
so Heather asks, do y'all think with the triple eviction there will definitely be a battle back now? I don't think the numbers line up with finale night. What are your thoughts?
I think there could potentially be a battle back. I'm just not sure if it will happen.
Yeah.
But here's my issue with the battle back. What's going to happen if there is one is the person that we want to come back in the house is
not coming
back. So I think they should just not do it.
Right.
Because we're going to get someone back in the house that we don't want. So they should just leave it.
Yeah, I'm not sure numbers wise how they are going to make it to finale night. I mean, there's still like 30 something days to go. So with so few numbers, it seems like there almost has to be a battle back, but I feel like they don't typically show the goodbye messages if there is a battle back. So I don't know. I lean towards there not being one, but same. Like I don't know how we get there.
Yeah, I just don't want it because it's going to be someone coming back that we don't want to come back. So I think
Right. It will be, like this whole triple eviction will be reversed. They'll be back in the house. Although that could be exciting because if a committee member gets evicted and then gets to come back in the house, it would be really entertaining. And at that point in time, I would probably be rooting for whatever evicted committee member was out to come back in because then there would be tension of like, hey, you put me up, you voted me out, we were supposed to be in an alliance together. I'm coming for you now.
Yeah, that could make it really fiery, and I like fiery.
Okay, let's see what else. Kim K says, give Dr. Will an HOH. Maybe that's why he's back. They promised him he could be HOH this time. So Dr. Will comes back, has his first HOH reign. He evicts them all. He's the winner of Big Brother All Stars. Oh, gosh.
I always love it when Dr. Will will be chatting with the jury before going into the finals. It's great.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what else. The best, okay, DPO Bentley says the best possible situation is Kevin or David goes first. Danny wins HOH, then Kevin or David, whichever one stayed, takes a shot at the committee. Yeah, that's a possibility. Let's see. Send them all out, no battle back. Pam says the fans should vote someone back in, like a la BB6 when we got to bring back Kaser. That would have been great. I mean, I am a little bit surprised that there has not been any type of America's vote. Zero all season.
Yeah, there's been no fan interaction, which is super interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's an all-star season. Y'all let enough outside influences impact the game. Why not let America have a vote for something? Like whether it was a power, anything. Just let us be in control. What else? I've got lots of thoughts about best case scenarios. Yeah, let's say Kevin or David, whichever one stays, wins HOH. What do they do? What would Kevin do with a potential HOH?
Oh, well, Kevin is a wild card with that. I think, honestly, maybe Kevin tries to take a shot at Cody.
Yeah, I could see him going for Cody because he has been knowing that Cody and Nicole are working together because of the wall yeller. That is one of the reasons why Cody wants to target him. So, yeah, I think Kevin could be the one person that tries to go for Cody, but I just don't know if the numbers would be there to evict him. So,
Yeah, that's correct. And I think David wouldn't go for Cody, but Kevin would.
yeah, I feel like it'll be interesting to see. People are really gonna have to take a stand in this triple eviction. So finally something interesting is gonna happen.
Finally, some scrambling.
You got any other thoughts, Lauren?
That's it. I'm hopeful, but I say that every time I'm on this, and
Yeah,
it doesn't work out.
yeah, something has to happen in the triple eviction, y'all. I mean, it has to. There's no choice. So finally. All
Give
right.
us something
Well,
good.
yeah, let's hit on a few things real quick as we wrap up. We are going to be doing a challenge draft this Monday night at 8 o'clock Central. We all love the challenge. As we've said, we run a really big challenge draft. As the season gets closer, we will drop that information for y'all. We'd love for you to join us. Our drafts are really large, like over $2,000 up for grabs. So if you're interested in that, you'll want to check it out. We will be doing the draft. Me and Lauren, Trisha, and then one of our other friends, Alex, will be joining us, and then one of my oldest friends from growing up, who actually is the person that introduced me to watching the challenge. Like, I think the very first time I saw it was at her house when we were in high school. So, yeah, that's going to be really fun. If you've never watched the challenge before, it's a great season to jump in. There's
Yep.
nothing else on TV. There's Big Brother people. There's
Survivor
Survivor
people,
people,
new faces.
new faces. So you don't have to have watched all the previous seasons. You can just jump in and just join. So Monday night, we will be doing a draft where we will talk a little bit more about the players, put a few stakes up as to who's going to win, and just, have a good time. So make sure y'all join us for that. You can check us out on Instagram and Twitter. It is, excuse me, I've been talking too much, at RealiTEA underscore TRHS. That's RealiTEA underscore TRHS. We are always tweeting out all the spoilers, everything interesting that we see happening, funny comments. So you will want to make sure you're following us. Lauren, where can people find you?
So on Twitter, they can find me at Lauren underscore Pratt6, and then Instagram is just Pratt6.
All right, sounds good. Make sure you guys hit us with a thumbs up, drop your comments on the video once it's posted. Thank y'all for joining with us, and make sure you also subscribe to the YouTube channel so you will get notifications every time we go live, every time Russell goes live. We have our recap episodes after Sunday and Wednesday nights shows, so make sure you're getting all of the good coverage from the Russell Hantz Show, and we will see you guys later. Cheers!